Welcome to Everest Productions. The stream will begin shortly.
Hello. Today we have a very special stream. We're gonna be actually talking. We're gonna have a group panel talking about the Acolyte. But yeah, it's kind of just out of nowhere. But here we go. So, but again, hello to everyone who's joining us. We're gonna be talking about the Acolyte. It's an open panel. If you want to talk about it, you want to defend it, if you loved it, if you hate it, feel free to join in because we're gonna roast this shit like a piggy roast.
Well, first I want to start off by introducing myself. I'm River. You might know my channel, Battlefront Archives, but I just want to come off of like what my standpoint going into the show was and how I thought. Well, what my thoughts on the show were initially. So, unlike Crit, like I liked the show. I thought it was okay. Up to after episode 5. Episode 5 was great. But, episode 3 was kind of iffy and 4 was just really boring but 5 was like amazing. And then after episode 5,
was it amazing? OSHA just stood still while
I'm not talking about any of the OSHA stuff, and we'll get into that. I'm talking about there was mainly it was a lot of Soul and Jackie.
Jackie, yes. Okay. Well, yes. The show is horrible.
Yes. But by the end of it, I was right on Crit's page and just like
it's characters flip flop for no goddamn reason. The two sisters have no acting ability, so when they're trying to like be different, when she's supposed to act differently, she just has the same face the whole time as both sisters. So I was like, even when she switched outfits, I was like, who's who?
Yeah,
this actress is so like bad.
Really bad. And having them look almost exactly like each other for like the last couple episodes was not a good idea because she does not play she does not have that distinctive
I think she's the worst part I think she's one of the worst parts.
No,
you know what? I'm gonna make this claim. I think May and OSHA are the worst Star Wars protagonists ever made. They're the worst main characters.
That just because of how bad the acting of what was her name, Vanestra Rowe. I would say she was the worst part of the show by far. Okay. One of the worst.
She's not a main character though.
Still on the camp of I like it.
She's the worst. Yeah, she's the worst actress on the show and worst character. But the worst. No. The main. I'm talking about main characters ever in Star Wars. It has to be the twins, in my opinion. They're just the worst. The story revolves around them, and it's not even a good story to begin with. If your story fails around two actors that can't act and can't really make you feel bad unless you're a Twitter. I'm a Twitter Yord memes. It's like I've said this, and I have said this before. I just think the show is trying to do like a Rashomon, like it's a different point of view. I find that funny because in episode 7, it wasn't a different point of view. It was just added scenes to scenes we already saw in episode 3. It was like a Snyder cut of a poorly told flashback that was made even worse by it's just I was like, all right. Ancient Sith. Hold on, before we continue, let's read the comments. Only episodes that are watchable were 1, 2, 5, and 8. 8?
Yeah.
No, we gotta disagree. There's only maybe 1, 2, and 5.
1, 2, and 5.
Maybe. I'm sorry, I can't agree with you on 8. I don't. 8 was the show that broke the camel's back for Rivers.
Yeah.
Or was it 7?
I don't know.
Oh, what's up?
when I initially watched 7, I thought it was okay. It was when I watched it with you and we were just dying laughing at the metal detectors that I like started to realize how fucked the show is.
Rossi, like, why did Basil, the chipmunk fucking thing, wreck the ship after he beat her up for like 3 episodes? Is that it, Basil? Basil?
Yeah, what boggles my mind is no one even acknowledges him. Like no one.
No,
like,
he's just
like
there.
He's
like a chipmunk.
Plagueis.
He's
No
Plagueis.
one
Maybe he
acknowledges
is
that
Plagueis.
Yeah. No one acknowledges that he's even there.
So I do want to say something. I was right. I made a prediction. I was right. I told River, we watched the last 2 episodes on stream. He wasn't in my last stream because that was a solo stream. This is an open panel, obviously. I told him, what if Plagueis is going to be in the last episode? What if Plagueis, I was wrong about one thing. I said he was going to be a generic actor. I didn't know they were going to use his Legends look. Yeah. That being said, we'll get to Plagueis. The seals on the YouTube community, the Star Wars YouTube community, clapping for Plagueis. You need to look in a mirror, bros, because we're going to talk about Plagueis in a minute. We'll get to that. That was the biggest rant we had about. Rossi says they are the worst protagonists in Star Wars. I agree. They're worse than Reva. They're worse than Rey.
No,
I like Rey sometimes. I like Rey at times. I mean, she's bearable. They are worse than Jar Jar Binks. They are just bad. They're just bad. Episode 3 and 7 should have just been the same episode, so 8 would have. No, they need to make you have a different point of view. It's like Rashomon.
Here's what I think happened. Leslie Headland wanted to do what. Another thing people should know. I do like The Last Jedi. I really like The Last Jedi. So I have a kind of unique opinion on this, but she wanted to do. She said one of her main inspirations was Rian Johnson, and she wanted to do like the different perspective flashback with like Luke and Ben, but she didn't understand that it wasn't like they were completely different scenes. Like it wasn't we're playing the same beats over again. It was maybe 2 or 3 shots are shared, but it's a different it's not the same scene being recycled. It's a whole new perspective. And while she got it should be a whole new perspective, she just like reused scenes from the other episodes and didn't really have a new play on them. And what that resulted in, it was kind of like a rerun. It felt like a rerun, and there was very limited amount of commentary on or additional information that we got from from episode 7 that we didn't already get from context clues. And not to mention the flashbacks in episode 8 Star Wars episode 8, not Acolyte episode 8, were like 30 seconds long. Not like
7 broke it. It broke us. 7 broke. I think 7 was the worst episode of the show. Followed maybe by 3 and then 8, and then 6. Episode 7 was just the Snyder cut of episode 3. They just wanted to make the Jedi evil. Like, give the reason why the Jedi, like, there's moments in this episode, and I talked about last, that's just random. It's like, Corbin's like, we gotta go back, and he's like, and then Soul, all he cares about is to kill kids and stuff. And they're just off assumptions, and my god, it's so it's a mess.
That they did not make a good enough case that Soul was in the wrong. He wasn't. And
she was becoming a smoke monster. A demon.
It's the same argument I would use, and I'm sure Crit's gonna be like is gonna disagree with me on, but like if you're someone that you feel a connection with, or someone that you think is in danger, starts turning into smoke because her mother is also turning into smoke, or using her powers to turn smoke, uh, turn the person into smoke. You know, what is your reaction? You're gonna think, oh, well, this person is in danger, and I need to stop it. So of course he's gonna like it. These witches came out from the gate being really combative, and even when they said, "Oh, we're gonna give you OSHA," well, you were not acting like you were gonna give them OSHA. You were acting like you need to get out again. You need to go away, and we're not giving you anyone.
Basil's an otter. Don't be insensitive.
I could care less about what.
Yeah, could put him in the airlock. He'll be space. He'll be I'm glad he appears to be immune still. There's other issues with Plagueis in this show than him being immune.
Do you want to just get into Plagueis?
Hold on. Let's read the rest of the comments. Let's read the rest of the comments. Yeah. Bro, Amandla didn't have to cast for the role. Leslie just picked. Yeah, Leslie loves just picking these roles for all these people that can't act. I mean, she picked. I mean, thank God for Master Squid Game. He was the only bearable thing in the show, besides acting wise. Besides Jackie and Carrie Ann Moss was also good, but she was underutilized. She was underutilized. She's a good actress. It's just, it's just. I mean, there's a lot of nepotism in the show. I feel from Leslie Headland. She obviously gave the role to her wife. She probably asked Kathleen Kennedy to give the role. There was no casting director. It was her asking Kathleen or whatever to just cast her wife.
Well, there was a casting director, but what I'm saying is that what I think you're saying is that she wrote a role for her wife, and then
a book character, mind you. This is a character from the books.
I bet you it wasn't written originally as the book character, because the book character is nothing like the character on the show. And the higher ups or the story group said, well, we need someone, if this is taking place in the High Republic, we need at least one person from the High Republic books to be present here, so we can kind of keep continuity, so the High Republic fans, so we can market the show to High Republic fans a lot better than having just a bunch of new generic Jedi. She just said, all right, well, my wife is now that character.
Yeah, basically. Just wrote her in. You know what? Jackie didn't survive. Well, her dying, it added to the story. Can't deny that. But killing Saul in episode 8, you don't change the plot at all by killing him. He would still be in the same situation if you just left him there. And, honestly, I would have rather let him survive. The fact they had the balls to just randomly make OSHA I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna have force grip powers all of a sudden for some god reason. They killed the only good actor in the show. There's no more potential. Any potential in this show. Well,
what about Quimmer or whatever?
He can't carry a show, let's be honest. I mean, he's good, but he has OSHA and who are they gonna get to play Plagueis? Are they gonna get the audiobook narrator, or are they gonna get an actual actor?
Well, the thing is,
he is an actor.
They don't have anyone to play off of. He can be a good actor all he wants, but if he doesn't have anyone else to play off of, it's not going to be a good.
They really should. Performance. If they're gonna. Well, I don't think season 2 is happening. If they do season 2, I really think they should just get Daniel Davis. He's still alive and he's still acting, and he's the voice of Plagueis in the audiobook.
They're not going to get an audiobook guy. They're not going to get an
No, he's a prolific actor. The only audiobook he's ever done is the Plagueis book. Just so you know, he's been in. He's very well known, and he's pretty cheap. But he's a prolific actor. You need to know. They could get him, or they could have some generic actor play Plagueis. I hope not. But on to Plagueis. My biggest issue with the show, episode 8, was Plagueis just randomly popping. It was like out of nowhere. It was like, oh, wait, why is he...
And we come to find out it was out of nowhere, because it was originally supposed to be the end of the show, and not...
that would make more sense.
Minutes into it.
But he's just, Plagueis is just there on Baldemic gooning out in the caves. I don't know. It's like...
he's gooning it to the hot couple.
He's gooning it to the... I didn't... It took me a minute to register. A theory brought it up. Like, none of us thought of this, but theory brought it up. And then we're like, oh, this whole show, the twins, Plagueis is going to get the idea to create Anakin? Is that what you're hinting at? Because oh my god.
Don't you know the witches had the idea first?
They had it first. Leslie Headland. Plagueis was there. He was gooning out in this gooner cave. Goon. You thought Plagueis learned how to manipulate life through decades of hard work and study? Wrong. He stole it from a lesbian witch coven. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he is true. It would have made more sense if Plagueis was at the end. I was like, Leslie Headland, are you a moron?
How she made the conscious decision to put Plagueis in the middle, like it was originally at the end.
He's not even in the middle. He's in the first 12 minutes. He's in the beginning of the episode.
It's such a
he's just randomly there.
I mean, if you thought Plagueis, was out of place, cut him from the episode. Cut him. I mean, or
have him be throughout the whole show. You know what? I'll say this. I think Plagueis was added last minute. I think he was added. Oh, he was added maybe a month before. Maybe. I don't think we'll have to study. We'll have to here. No, I'll bring a screen. We'll have to study it. I guess if it's CGI. But I wouldn't no doubt that they probably...
Yeah, it's CGI. It's 100% CGI. But you mean the rocks in the back of the whole scene? Or do you think I think the whole entire scene probably CGI. I don't think that they consciously shot that rock or whatever.
I don't think Plagueis... thank you, Rossi, for the $2. Did you see the graph on views for Acolyte? Is there a graph? Acolyte, worst show ever, lore breaking and many retconning. If you can make a better Star Wars Plagueis story, I'm all for it. There's already is a better Plagueis story. It's called Darth Plagueis. You can get it at your local bookstore or audiobook, Audible. I should become a partner to Audible. I would like to become a partner to Audible. I would like to. A crazy idea for Disney: make a show that doesn't suck.
Well,
that's hard in this day and age.
They've been doing that, in my opinion. But
no. Tony Gilroy is a wonderful dude. I don't care what people say. Andor's good. I don't know.
The problem is that they it's their mainstays like Mando and Andor. They're successful, but then the problem is they give these nobody directors a shot, and which obviously that's a great
they give them the whole damn show.
They give them the whole damn show. But the problem
Deborah
with
Chow,
the problem with Leslie Headland was she didn't. I liked her episodes. I liked the episodes that she directed, but the problem is she didn't commit to it. Deborah Chow. The one thing you can't say about Deborah Chow is that she did not. Is that she committed to it. Every single episode was directed by her.
and it all
Not
sucked.
the Acolyte. The Acolyte, but at least it was a consistent vision. The Acolyte was a bunch of fucking other directors, and then Leslie Headland like did the first two, which were
and writers, but it's still her story. It's still her story and her ideas.
Story, but like
just poorly told or badly written or badly thought out. I definitely think the writers' room was full of just. It's I mean, we did research this last week on Discord of the writers that did this show. Obviously, it's all Leslie Headland's ideas and stories. So she's like, "All right, well, write the episodes for me." Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And what's that? Oh, is that a tweet? I'll look at that. Let me look at that. I gotta actually go to like the YouTube live stream, and no, it's just fucking insane how you can churn out this mediocre garbage. And even then, oh
no, that is not good.
See, share screen. See. Oh yeah, that's bad. Man, Andor got more watch hours than Ahsoka?
Yeah, that surprises me.
Yeah, Andor is a better show. Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi Book of Boba Fett got more watch hours than Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, because that was coming off of season 2 of Mando, so you know.
Oh, okay. And then Mandalorian season 3 got more watch hours than season 1, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ahsoka. The thing, Mandalorian season 3 is pretty mediocre. Not gonna lie, but I guess
we know the reason for it was because they, the fallout from firing Gina Carano was that they didn't have a new lead for they lost the lead for the new for the Rangers of the New Republic, and they had to combine it with Mandalorian. So they kind of like that's where all this New Republic stuff is, came from. Like where like a whole episode is just dedicated to what's happening on Coruscant, is because that's pretty much something from Rangers of the New Republic that's being kind of shoved into Mando because they don't have a space to tell that story anymore on its own and separate from Mando. And I don't think that they really planned for Mando season 3. Like it's clear that they kind of didn't really have that clear of a plan after Luke gave or after Mando gave Grogu to Luke.
Much as I hate to say it, but seeing Plagueis pretty much hints there will be a season 2, even though it might not happen now. This show doesn't need a season 2. We can just assume Plagueis was there in the cave and grinning out and whatnot. And no, this show just needs to die off. Just let it be forgotten. It could go in it could be finished in book form or some shit. But I think we're just denying there could be a season 2. I mean, it's just denial, knowing Kathleen Kennedy and stuff. They love to throw away money. The show shouldn't have been made. No. I think what was pitched, what we saw, what was pitched was not what we saw.
No,
the show that was pitched.
She pitched a Ventress show. She pitched a Ventress.
It was a Ventress show, and then it was a High Republic show, so they could capitalize on the High Republic.
And then she just did her own knockoff thing.
And then she wanted to do her own Plagueis story because everyone loves Plagueis and High Republic and Plagueis.
I mean, yeah, I loved Ahsoka, so of course I want 5 seasons.
Ahsoka Tano.
Why are you disturbing me?
I'd rather get Rule 34 of Ahsoka than season 2. Yeah. Pitching.
I don't understand like why keep Plagueis in there. Why, if it didn't fit in the
They
show?
want to Leslie wants to be the one who created Anakin. She wants to be the person.
I don't think
She wants to have her stamp on Star Wars.
Pure incompetence. I think it's just pure incompetence.
I think it's
like,
I think it's having it's called having a feminine touch to Anakin. Plagueis, he loved those twins and watching them, and he loved Chimere taking baths and shit on his cave, and
I don't think
Plagueis is like
feminine touch. I think it has to do with her first of all, completely misunderstanding the Plagueis novel, and also
I don't think she read it.
No, I think she did, but I think
she read the first few pages.
Misunderstood it.
No, she read the first few pages. She saw Plagueis. She saw Baldemnik in the first chapter, and she immediately thought in Cortosis, and she immediately thought, "Oh, well, that's where it all began." Baldemnik of all planets. It's not even a big planet in the novel. I can't comprehend. It's cool to see Cortosis, but there's also a Patros. That's another Cortosis planet you could have used. But no, it's Baldemnik because it's Plagueis, and Plagueis is hanging around there.
He's just chilling.
He's just chilling. And he's and he looks like they're treating him like a vampire.
I don't agree with this at all. He looks like Plagueis. He looks like Plagueis. He looks like Plagueis. Yeah. There's no spin of it. The problem is he does not fit in the show. He doesn't fit in the show because
if you're gonna make him fit in the show, here, let's look at the whole show. I mean, they had the Trade Federation and they made that fit. With Plagueis, though, if you're gonna use Baldemnik, Cortosis, and then his Legends look, why not use his Legends origins? He's a wealthy businessman. Why not have him involved?
We don't know that's still not the case. He's probably, I would bet he still has the same origin. I think that the reason why you're saying this stuff is because they poorly communicated and they
poorly executed his first appearance. He looks like a vampire. He's coming out of his cave. He's like, those twins saw those images by Chimere.
I like my own lesbian witches.
It's Chimere might not even be Plagueis' apprentice, and yeah, that's true. He could be just stalking. Still, he's gooning out to that whole thing because he's in a cave. Tony Stark made this suit in a cave with parts.
That's not the quote. But
I don't know. I don't care.
Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps, not with parts.
Oh well. Chimere might blah blah blah. Plus, I don't think Plagueis has teach someone who shows their ding dong to someone they just kidnapped. For all I know, an interesting plot that they could have see if they had Plagueis at the ending of the show, it would have made more sense. But since he's randomly there, it doesn't make sense. See, they could have hinted that Chimere is actually using Osha Plagueis, or he's because Plagueis was aware of their origins. That on paper sounds good. In execution, it's shit.
What I don't understand is if they wanted to do a Plagueis story, what is their absolute refusal to just adapt the story. Adapt the
I've been writing a treatment.
Do a limited series about Plagueis and Palpatine or something. Adapting the Plagueis book. It's a good book. There's nothing wrong with it. If it ain't broke, don't.
Hold on. We got a new. Someone wants to join us. All right, man. Here's the rules. Before you join the stage, Baz Ard. If you show yourself on stream, you're immediately kicked and banned. Not show your face. You can show your face. If you show your dick or whatever, or you're naked, you're immediately kicked. Yes, but if you're also be respectful and blah blah blah. All right. Yo,
No,
what up?
it's all good. No, it's all good. And I'm not gonna do any of that shit.
No, it happened on a stream. I just gotta give the rules to people that join us.
Oh,
What
for
up,
real?
man? What's up, boss? What's up?
Hey,
Yeah, it
what's up,
happened.
guys?
Man.
Damn. Well, yeah, I just wanted to, give a quick thought on what happened with the whole fucking series with Acolyte. And me and my friend, who's been Star Wars nerd since we were kids, we were just talking over it, and he kind of seemed like he liked the series more, but he still heard me out when I told him the whole point of the series originally was the Sith, at least in this time frame. And now you have it to where the only Sith character allegedly is supposedly Plagueis at the end, even though we don't know it's him. I mean, it's probably, but still, that was it. There was no Sith connected except with, what was his name again? They call him Smiler Ren. He claimed he was a Sith.
Or something. It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
to
I'm sorry, I'm getting gas right now.
Yeah. Could you go back to that thought when you get in your car?
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a lot of what you said. Like, I can only pick out a couple.
Let me. I apologize for that, guys.
There you go.
No, you're good. You're good. It's just re-say what you said when you get to a quieter whatnot. But hold on, I want to read some more comments. Well, before you reiterate your thought, Baz. Thank God it's over. Hopefully, it won't get renewed for season 2. I agree.
I think with few numbers like that, it's not. I think
it's not. It's done. It's done. I've been writing a treatment for the last 4 or 5 years about the first Stormtroopers, but I'm not sure what to do with it because I don't want Disney to catch wind of it or ruin my ideas. I mean, it's not. I don't think they're gonna care. They already did their own.
Listen.
For first Stormtroopers.
I'm gonna spoil something for you. Disney won't steal anything from anyone's scripts. They're not gonna. They don't look at fan work and say, "Oh, that's an idea. Let's steal it." It doesn't work like that. That you don't need to worry about that. Write your story, and you'll be fine. Disney, supports Star Wars fan projects. Really, the only other time they used to not because of EA them like hogtied with their deal that anyone that made like a Star Wars fan game that wasn't approved by EA. You back in your car?
What are you saying?
There wasn't.
Hold on, he's getting in his car. I'll unmute you in a second, Baz.
There wasn't approved by EA was that they all needed to be taken down after the EA contract ended. They just stopped caring about fan games, and I really don't think that they're trying out to ruin some random guy on the internet's Stormtrooper story. So write your Stormtrooper story and put it out there, and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Just put it out there.
I say
right,
fuck
Baz.
it.
All right, Baz, you were saying something earlier. Start from the beginning, man.
My apologies, guys. No, it's all good. So I was just saying that I was talking with a good friend of mine, and we were, Star Wars nerds since we were kids, and he was telling me that he sort of liked the series, and I told him I can understand, I get it, but I just kept telling him that where exactly was the whole point of the show that was supposed to be about Sith? The only time we saw an alleged Sith character is supposedly Plagueis at the end. And the rest of the series is just 2 twins, aka the chosen one, but they're black girls. I don't care if they're black, white, whatever, but 2 twins that are the same person, lesbian space witches, and I guess retconning Kai, whatever you fucking say his name, Conehead, Kai Mundi. Thank you.
Kia Mundi.
Thank you. Retconning him to fit supposedly one quote he says from the Phantom Menace, and that's all we got.
No,
$180 million project.
I don't think so. Here. I mean, because I initially thought this was going to be a Sith series. about the Sith, following the Sith from their perspective. But I mean, I did look back. I think I might have done it with credit. I don't know, but I think we watched the Disney investors call again, and she did say it was more. She wasn't really implying. Kathleen Kennedy wasn't really implying that it was a Sith-centric story. I think it got mischaracterized as it was following it from the Sith's perspective. But that, from what she described originally, no, it was always a Jedi uncovering a mystery of some Sith acolyte or something like that.
Okay.
As for the, what were we saying with the second one? It was the Kiadi Mundi. Kiadi Mundi. Listen, his birthday was not. There was no precedent for his birthday in canon. There's no. So, like, no matter what theory says or what anyone says, there wasn't a retcon. And the only thing that established his age before was literally a trading card from 2005. Like that's where this all comes from. It's from a trading card from 2005, 70.
On your point of your friend, was it your friend or your brother?
No, my friend.
Your friend. If he wants to get into Sith stuff, I would probably. He's not read any of the books, right? Or.
No, he usually I guess you could say he's kind of like my go-to when it comes to certain things, that at least with this whole Disney stuff that's going on when it comes to Star Wars. I would say I'm more EU, especially kind of a little bit Old Republic, but for the most part EU kind of content. But he already kind of knew at least a good portion of the whole Plagueis story, and he did ask me about this. Why would there really was no technically a Sith connection unless you count Quimir? Is that how he says it again? I don't give a shit.
He is a Sith. Unfortunately, he is a Sith. And I don't think there's any denying that he was the Sith of the show. And as Crit,
which I agree. Yeah. I think, as I kind of went over, at least from episode 5 till 8, he kind of reminded me of Adam Driver with the whole Kylo Ren thing, where eventually Kylo Ren grew on me, and Smilo Ren has grew on me. I just felt that certain acting moments, and plot points was just pointless. Like the whole coming out of the water naked in front of OSHA. Like, okay. Sure, yeah.
That was for all the Twitter people that like the show.
Yeah, it definitely was for the fangirls and fanboys. It definitely was that. But I've just been so jaded with what Disney's been doing with Star Wars lately. It's almost like I won't say I'll hate watch certain things, but I'll try my best to watch it. But I mean, like I said, my grievance with the series was just the plot points and the writing. Some acting, but mostly the writing and plot points. To me, I felt that they should have, at least with the twins, could have kept the whole I'll be good for one episode, then I'll change my mind and turn, I guess, in my bad the next episode, and then do another twist. Like, I felt like that could have been done maybe later on in this season, if it's going to be the only season anyway, but that's my whole take on the series. But I want to hear more of you guys. I just started listening to your stuff. Like I said, I was getting gas, but I want to at least catch up with you guys. What you're talking about?
No problem, man. Hold on. I want to read some of these comments. Okay, all right. Nothing against you, man. This is a stupid comment. He's like, Plagueis is a Shadows character, not a main character. I'm sorry, but shall we get the humiliation ritual? Because literally, if you read the whole book, literally the whole there's 200 pages where he's the main character and he's not in the shadows.
Right.
I don't exactly. I mean, I made a fan film. I'm making a fan film on that aspects, and he's not in the shadows at all. I don't know. I granted the point of view changes when Palpatine becomes his part of the story. It becomes his story later on, but
Yeah.
God, man, Plagueis is always around. I mean, he is a businessman. If you're going by
Which
legends.
is, why he's such, to me, a fascinating, not just a Sith character, but a character in general in Star Wars. It's this guy that, everyone always says that Sidious is like the man behind the scenes sort of thing, and which is true, but it's like with Plagueis, it was like, this guy literally played, if he survived, if he wasn't killed by Sidious, he probably would have changed a lot. Well, I wouldn't say he changed things, but he definitely played a huge role to where if he lived, things might have been the same or could have been different. But yeah, he's just an integral character, at least in the time frame before the Empire Rises.
All right, I understand that. Well, thank you for joining us, Baz. Your time's up, but thank you for joining us. Again, the panel will, when I do open panels will always be open for you. So, but
appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, and look forward to seeing more of your project.
Of course. Yeah, talk again, brother. And I hope
Take
you
care.
subscribe. And, y'all.
Oh.
All right. Bang.
All right.
All right.
Let's go look over some comments.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Let's cover some comments here. Okay. Yeah. Again, open.
Charles
here's-
Owinger.
Hold on. Before we get to that, I'm gonna just say, if anyone wants to join and talk, the open panel is open. Like Baz, you can join Baz. Of course, you can't be here the whole time since it needs to be fair to everyone. So, but yeah, there will be a time limit on who people that can be on. So, if you want to give your piece on this, debate us, join. Always, but you have to follow the open panel rules. You have a limited time on here. You need to have a good microphone, and then if you use your webcam, you gotta show your face, not your body. If you show your body, you'll be banned. All
right. So,
hold on. Let me. They didn't earn their usage or kurtosis like how the Mandalorian earned Beskar by showing us how dangerous, rare, and hard to forge it. You earn usage or kurtosis.
I disagree.
Is that a thing?
No, I don't. Listen, they can use cortosis. It's an element. First of all, it was canon before. This wasn't the first time it appeared in canon. So it's nothing about earning it. And Beskar, I don't think was. It's not like they had to earn it. They just used it as an element in the show. I feel that Acolyte's use of cortosis is not the problem in the show. It's one of the it's a cool part of the show. It's actually their use of cortosis was fine. I know Crit has issues with Baldemic being there, but the actual practical use of it being on the helmet and him using it in his fighting style is a really cool aspect of the show. The problem is the writing. I don't really think that there was anything wrong with how they wrote cortosis into the show. It's just, you may not feel like they earned it because of how bad the writing, and other aspects were. So maybe you're kind of, well, I wish cortosis was introduced in something that was better.
All right. I'm back. Hold on. We got two people trying to join us.
All right.
Add Chuck.
Hey, I'm
Hello,
Chuck. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I like the generic thumbnail that I put up there for the picture. Yeah. I mean, I watched the show. I like aspects of it. I dislike some aspects of it. But as a whole, I didn't think it was that bad. I think it took Star Wars in a direction that it needs to go in. It's not perfect, but it's better than like Phantom Menace type stuff. I think there's an actual story to this. I think the two twins is spot on with with the convergence of the planets and the force divergence, whatever they're talking about with the planet. But I think what Disney does is a lot of cultural and political influence, and a lot of people are hating on the two twin female girls. But if you look at the demographic that gets aborted the most, it's African American females. I think the show is meant to prove that African American female babies are worth saving. That to me.
All right. That was I think he was trolling.
Well, anyways, yeah.
I had to stop it before it got.
Well, I mean that.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Okay. Now here's a person I know. DVD Review Studios.
Hello. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Funny, I know you for like years, but we finally talk on stream.
Yeah, this is kind of surreal. I feel like I've been a lurker for years in the comments, and well, hello. But I'll be honest. As far as the Acolyte series goes, I think I tapped out halfway through episode 2, and just kind of been following in the shadows like a certain Sith Lord for the past sort of few weeks, and I just don't really see the appeal for the series.
Well, I understand that.
I mean, I totally get like kind of dropping out, but I mean, I would just so you have like an idea of like kind of what, like, I would say form your own opinions on things, and don't look to others, to form
a bunch of haters.
Well, that's a bit harsh.
I never said I fully hated the show. I like some of it. I like Soul.
If you listen,
even though they flip flop his character and ruin him, I mean, they.
What I said at the beginning, I liked the show. At the beginning.
You liked it until episode 6.
Yes, I liked it until episode 6. I thought, the hate was very overblown, and I still will stand by that the Kiadi Mundi stuff was completely overblown.
That's adjustable. That's adjustable.
But it was the incompetence of the writing and the just everything with those last couple episodes that were just really, really, ticking me off.
Yeah. Hold on. I want to read some of Charles Olinger's comments, because he seems to have. The Plagueis book was okay. Still okay.
It's a bit more than okay, but fair enough.
That's more of an okay. I mean, what people consider to be the holy Bible of Star Wars literature, but okay. Still not canon, but then again, what truly is? Well, they're taking stuff from the book that is Legends. So if they're going to take like just pieces from the book, what is canon? So that if they're going to take pieces from the book, it's not like Thrawn, where they kind of just bring Thrawn and they kind of revitalize them into the canon. They're literally taking Baldemic, Kurtosis, and Plagueis and his Legends look, without really going into much detail about it.
I think it's just...
And that's all from the book?
It's the execution. Again,
it's the execution, yeah. It's the execution. I fully agree.
When we watched it was, this scene was so out of nowhere, when really all that needed to be established, or a scene that just needed to be there to really, make Plagueis make sense in the story, was just have, Kumar go into a room, kneel, and say, and have a fucking hologram of Plagueis say, and he says, yes, Darth Plagueis, I'll do your bidding, or whatever, something. Plagueis gives him orders, and then he says Darth Teeth's actual Sith name, so we get Darth Teeth's Sith name.
Hold on.
And we know that he's...
Hold on. He goes on. It's almost like you are going to upset with Star Wars unless some super badass alpha male Sith character. What? I mean, isn't that what Chimera was? A super badass alpha male Sith character? He did stomp ass in this show.
Also, I wouldn't call Plagueis.
He's not even. I wouldn't even call Plagueis an alpha male.
Plagueis is not the peak of
He's literally a scrawny, skinny scientist.
That's the best way to describe him.
Okay. Chimera is a good character for sure. Anyone that says is just a hater.
I would say he's a good character. He's a bad Sith.
Yeah, exactly. He leaves the trail of bodies. Well, everyone's incompetent in the show.
Yeah,
it isn't just Chimera.
Very incompetent. Like, then if I were
Yoda. They even made Yoda incompetent by having him not appear till the final scene. You know, Yoda should have been sensing people dying, like in the prequels, but he's in his own room.
Oh, we don't know.
Yes, my sons.
Maybe he had a really big shit. He's taking care of that.
Yeah, the characters are about as competent as the writing, so that speaks for itself.
I need to ask you: did you watch the whole series, or did DVD, or did you try?
I watched all of episode 1, just gave it a chance, and I thought, it's whatever. And I thought, well, I'll check out episode 2 for what it's worth, and then I just kind of lost interest halfway through. The writing seemed really cumbersome for Saul, who seemed like the only interesting character at that point early on, but I didn't want to really hate watch it. I'm not really a hate watcher.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, if people enjoy it, that's entirely up to them. Obviously, as you said before, don't be a sheep. You know, form your own opinions. I just didn't really care for it, so I thought rather than waste my time and be a hater for lack of a better phrase, it just seemed a better use of my time just not to invest in it. So. We've still got the Plagueis book. That's something I'll always turn back to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. Hold on, let me see. The freaking book is not canon. Why are you free? Why do you care?
Does it matter?
Does it matter? Does it matter? Well, you're getting upset over someone else's opinion.
It's just a book,
bro. I mean, theory. He puts that book above his head. It's like a monument. Some people think the same way of Hair of the Empire. Air, whatever. I always get that.
You kept saying Hair to the Empire, and I was like,
yeah, it's just the way I speak, bro.
Like what?
You want to go? You want to fight me? You want to fight me, bro? Okay. The twins' motivations changes without reason or warning because they're the same person. Osha and May is a child. Is he trying to say Tyler Durden
like a Fight Club reference?
Fight Club? Not even the same thing. They're actually twins. They're not.
That's a bit of
Tyler
a reach.
was a figment of. Wasn't he a figment of Norton's imagination of himself? It was not even the same thing. It's a fantasy book, straight up. Years ago, it wasn't, and it was approved by Lucasfilm. Now it is. Now it's not even fan. It was
it's officially it's Star Wars Legends.
Didn't George himself give notes on the Plagueis book?
Oh yes,
anyway?
he did. Like Star Wars Legends is not like there are certain projects.
Here's what I heard about the Plagueis book, and these were rumors. This was rumors. I don't know if there's a source, but I heard that originally they were going to release the book after Revenge of the Sith, 2006, because James Luceno he loved the story of hearing Plagueis, and he really wanted to do this. It was going to be, he really wanted to make this book, and he begged George, and George said okay, or he begged Lucasfilm, and he begged Lucas. This was when the prequels were mixed. Still, it's like a lot of people loved them and they made money, but they still had the mixed reactions, so whatnot. And it was also George's creation, and George, this is again what a surmise of some stuff. So it was originally supposed to come out like 2006, 2007, and then Lucasfilm Publishing canceled it. And I'm guessing because George Lucas, So the book originally was supposed to come out a year after Revenge of the Sith or something.
Because this would have been Luceno wrote the Dark Lord trilogy, doesn't he?
Yeah. He wrote Labyrinth of Evil and
the first and last. He didn't write the Revenge of the Sith.
He didn't
adaptation.
Yeah, I will say Revenge of the Sith is James Luceno's good, but he's not as good as Matthew Stover, who is kind of like the god of when it comes to writing Star Wars. Um, uh, um, but what happened was, George Lucas. The rumor was George Lucas. He didn't think Palpatine needed a backstory. He's like, well, it's there, it's there. And then, like years later, after Clone Wars, and then 2012, before they're gonna sell to Disney, Lucas probably. I think Lucas was. I think maybe like Lucas finally looked at the transcripts. And he actually thought it was really good.
No, here's what I'm telling you happened. Here's what happened. Okay, he was planning. He didn't want the Palpatine story told because he was going to do a lot of that in Star Wars Underworld. And when Underworld fell through, that is when he said, "Well, okay, I'm not going to get to tell."
Well, no, that's not what the rumors I heard said. I heard he actually read the transcript. He liked it a lot, and he actually thought it was really good. And it kind of followed what he thought of Palpatine that well, and he gave the okay ahead to release it. And yeah, it came out like years later.
Yeah,
and
but I'm thinking that probably the access point of, well, okay, let's release it now, or let me take a look at this again.
Well,
Underworld being
he could have also asked Luceno. Luceno makes references to Talzin in the book, so he probably asked Luceno to make revisions to add like more references to books and canon. Yeah,
there's some KOTOR references in there as well. Scion and Nihilus, if memory serves.
Comments, if we can.
Okay, Charles, if the book isn't canon, why even have him on the show?
Well,
yeah, it is. It was uncanonized, I believe, officially.
Well, I don't care that he's on the show. It's just the fact that he's shoved in there like for no reason. Like he has no one even acknowledges him. No one interacts with him, and that was like key problems with his
Plagueis. Hold on, I'll answer this. He's not direct, powerful character. He's a soft, powerful character. No, he's a very powerful character with his mind, not his body or strength. With his mind, he's one of the smartest like Sith ever. Like he is the guy that, again, like Palpatine, his apprentice. He basically is. He's super smart. He's a scientist. Blah blah blah.
Some may call him Professor Sex because he can impregnate people with his mind.
I agree. The show was for the young girls. It's a Star Wars equipment. Twilight.
No.
Oh,
the saving two African American girls is cultural and political than anything.
Wait a minute. Is this guy Chuck?
It's all making
sense now. Was this guy Chuck? It's all making sense now.
That's
all making sense now. This is what Disney does. Baz, good. Yo, bros. Thank you, Baz, for coming on earlier. Katosa's part was interesting. This guy trolling.
Yeah.
You guys don't give a close cheese. Oh, it makes all sense now. Charles Chuck. Dude, okay, your argument for this show, it was gone as soon as you mentioned African babies and demographics. It's like that has nothing.
Your problem with African babies is nothing to do with the show. Nothing. I have no clue where you're getting that from.
I don't know. I would go to like a liberal college or something and try to get a degree if you want to look into that.
He can go to like Breitbart and read like Breitbart articles or something.
Breitbart or I don't know. I couldn't add anything he said. I do agree that seeing it in combat was fun. I just wish they had earned it and prepared this. How do you earn kurtosis? I don't remember them earning kurtosis.
Yeah.
Is that the helmet thing?
Achievement unlocked?
Yeah. That was actually a cool thing in the show. Was the helmet with that was a cool.
I did like the look of it. I saw they did a Black Series toy of that afterwards.
It was used perfectly for what it needed to be in the story, and I don't think it was like, this is a kurtosis Like it wasn't like,
No.
"Ooh, everyone look, it's Cortosis."
It fuels me. It gives me focus, makes me stronger. The series should have never been made. The writing is the worst part. What were they thinking? Yeah, I could tell he was going on a random abortion. So random. Charles Olinger. I think he was being serious. I don't think he was trolling. I think he was being serious. Baldemic looks too much like Ant. I think he's Octo. Anto. Kept making me think it was a sequel trilogy planet. All the planets in this show are pretty generic. They should just
very
use
cheap.
Well, yeah, that was one of my criticisms. Is everything is a forest planet. Everything is a forest planet. It was like a Star Wars fan film because everything was a forest planet.
Forest planet. It was like, oh, well, no, it's a coastal or a forest planet.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't very.
I thought the first planet in the beginning of the show was the same planet as Baldemic.
Well, did they not use the volume, or did they like not use it as much?
I think they used the
both, if memory serves.
I think they used the volume in some instances.
Yeah.
They definitely used the volume during the Jedi Temple scenes.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how they need to. I'm sorry. Like I've seen the people who did the
show is not
or the 3D art for Kenobi, but they've been reusing that asset, and it's really not a good like that one training room that Anakin and Obi-Wan fight in. They've been reusing that asset forever. Like ever since Kenobi, they need to.
Honestly, they could have had a high schooler produce it, but anyone could have. This was not what. Okay, this story. I'm gonna say this again. It was not what was pitched. What was pitched was a Sith or something story.
No, it was pitched as
a High Republic show.
It wasn't ever pitched as a High Republic show. It was pitched as a. She said this. It was pitched as a Ventress show, and she was told she couldn't do Ventress.
Can't do Ventress.
So they decided. So they told her to do something in the High Republic.
So Osha and May are actually Ventress, just
to add to the confusion.
Chimera is not a Sith; he's a Dark Jedi. He says he's a Sith, ancient Sith.
Yeah, he clearly says.
Are we watching this same show? And it's hinted that he's the apprentice to Plagueis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Plagueis is using him. So Yoda takes the biggest L in the series. Yeah, he takes the biggest shit.
Okay,
I think Yoda got off easy. He just got the back of his head.
Well, this is what I don't understand. I think they couldn't afford Frank Oz because the writers specifically said the reason why Ki-Adi
get a new actor to play Yoda.
Well, hold on. The reason why they had Ki-Adi Mundi in the first place was because, and this is right from the writer. The writer said that they couldn't afford Yoda. They couldn't afford Yoda in the budget, so they put in Ki-Adi Mundi because he was cheaper. Now they did have Yoda, but only the back of his head. So what that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't move at all. So my guess is that Frank Oz was not puppeting him, and they did not get Frank Oz to come back because he was too expensive. So
was the Yoda thing right at the end of the episode?
Yeah,
was that like
he had no
the
lines.
clips of credits?
Yeah, it was like they show the back of his head and it cuts to credits.
It's such like carrot and the stick approach. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. If this gets renewed, then maybe there'll be something more to that, I suppose. But
well, the problem with the season 2 is it's going to have to be led by Venestra. And now we can go on to my fucking hatred of Venestra and her
was that the green lady
acting. Oh my god, it's so bad. She's
Did you know that the Green Lady is Leslie Headland's wife?
I did, yes. I read that afterwards. It's interesting that she got a main
role.
Yeah,
it was
I guess
I called
just
her
because
Jedi
of that.
I called her Jedi Master Nepo because there's a lot of nepotism in this show. We immediately knew it was the Last Jedi puppet. It was probably just left there in storage that they reused.
Oh yeah, I mean the other ones deteriorated over time. Like the Empire Strikes Back one is like flaking.
I wish they would just use CGI Yoda.
No, they're not using CGI Yoda ever again. I'm sorry.
It's how people. Well, they use CGI Yoda in Battlefront too.
Well, yeah, because that's how young Yoda looks. And what are they going to get, a puppet, a real life puppet for the fucking video game? What are you talking about?
Hey, they had a
They're gonna
CGI
turn it
witch
into a real life puppet
in
and-
the show. They had a CGI witch in the show, and you're telling me they're not going to use CGI?
What CGI witch? All of the witches were real people.
The horrible CGI witch. You didn't remember the horrible CGI witch?
Is this the one that turned to smoke?
No, there was
No?
this horrible Yoda-looking old witch in Episode 3 that was so bad.
Okay. I'm kind of glad I missed that then, if that's the case.
That was all CGI. It was like, you can't tell me they can't use Yoda if they're going to do that.
180 million, huh?
Well, it comes down to them. Well, they don't have Tom Kane anymore because he had a stroke. And
yeah, he retired, I think.
Yeah, and apparently Frank Oz was too expensive, so they, so that's why.
Frank Oz isn't expensive. He voiced Yoda in a VR game recently.
Yes,
You're telling me he's too expensive for a $200 million budget show?
Well, I think
but
that
he can
the
do
budget was
Yoda. He can do a bunch of
budget was
Yoda voice lines
misappropriated.
for a VR game. You're not.
Right.
You're.
Correct. I think the budget was horribly misused. There were places in this where it's like clear that they like. There were some like if you cut down on a couple aliens, like I would much rather have some less aliens, some less complicated, background characters, for having Yoda. Like, get rid of Plo Koon 2, the sequel to Plo Koon, and put in a regular guy, and do a couple things. Maybe just don't have that awful speeder CGI scene in episode 8, and episode 7,
Okay.
and just play it.
I think
without that.
here's my theory, and I'm rewriting Acolyte, and I'm gonna make this more obvious. But I think Vernestra is a Dark Jedi. I mean, it's clear she was the one that abused Chimera. Chimera was her apprentice.
He's got the scars
I
on
I
his
don't
back.
think anyone
that
can
thing.
determine if she's a mole or not because her acting is so bad you can't even tell what she's trying to come.
She's
across
bad. She's bad. Yeah.
Really,
All
really
she has
bad.
is just that angry expression.
No, she's just like literally a wooden. Like
She's
cannot
wood. Yeah.
act.
She's Plank. She's Plank from Ed and Eddie.
and she's supposedly going to lead the show for season 2. She's going to
No.
be the new.
Should just kept Soul alive,
Yeah, I know.
or they could say he actually survived the Force choke in the next season. Like, it's miraculous. But then he can go to jail for they can falsely accuse him. They
No, I
won't
don't
do
want to
that.
see the
But I
false
wish they would.
symbol of-
I wish
Somehow
they would.
Soul survived.
He was the only good thing in the show, and they killed him off. And they killed him off in the worst way. They killed.
I did see the scene on YouTube. It was pretty bad.
May got absorbed by OSHA when she died as a kid, and now she's part of OSHA again, and Force projects out. What?
What?
Okay, that's stretching it. You're thinking you need to think Disney logic, not Pente logic. That's why the motivations changes. Because she's literally changing personas and not realizing it. Okay.
No.
No.
No,
Sorry,
you're looking too much into that.
You're
It's just
looking.
added acting.
You're coming up ideas with a Pente what if. So that's the only thing that made sense to me. I think season 2 will end with a shot of May and the tattoo on her four-yell disappear when she turned back to OSHA. Okay. That's an interesting hypothesis. I mean, I don't think it's happening, but my question about the show was why Chimera not worried about Soul surviving episode 5. He said he had to kill everyone who saw him, but then he left the planet with Soul alive and chilled with OSHA. Because he wanted to turn OSHA? I think that was...
He wanted to fuck OSHA. It wasn't about turning her.
turning her on.
Well, I think that this is a problem with his character. Is he's not like I was praying to God he wasn't a Sith before Episode 5 because his complete utter incompetence at keeping himself a secret from people.
Vernestra is aware Vernestra is aware. Vernestra is in on it. She knows she's alive, and she knows he's responsible. Why this whole show is incompetence. Who wrote the show? It's like full of dumb people. It's like I'm a Jedi, I'm a Sith. Oh, there's a Sith over there. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, let's not question it. Oh, it's Soul's fault. Oh, by the way, it's the big plot hole. I forgot to say this plot hole. There's a witness that May killed Indara, and that she's saying now. Oh, and there was also a witness that saw Torben dead before. That confirmed that Soul came before he died. Now, how is anyone going to believe that Soul killed Indara and Torben? Kanaka was the only one that seemed plausible that would be Soul's responsibility. Plot hole. It's like they don't even think about this stuff. They don't. Like, how is Indara? How are they going to tie Soul to Indara's death if there's a witness that said May did it and was there? Just how?
Don't think about it that hard.
They don't think about this they don't think about this stuff. This whole murder was because of the witness. This whole May thing was because of witness. And now they're saying it's Soul's fault. Like, how is anyone going to believe that? They're so stupid. I fucking hate writers for this company. They earned Beskar by showing how hard it was. Okay.
Yeah, but then it would just be a retread of
it'd just be a retread.
Yeah.
Desert Planet. He said, I have no name, but some might. Yeah, he's a Sith. By that point, they should have just Dagon. You mean the guy from Jedi Survivor? I never beat that game.
Well, here's my issue with Jedi Survivor. It just wasn't as good as Jedi Fallen Order. It wasn't as good, and I definitely don't think Dagon Gera was a very good character in that.
No. I call her Darth Greenbean because she's the only one who whipped Chimere's back.
She does look like a green.
Okay, that's good. Darth Greenbean. The failure of one, Kathleen. The failure of two, Rian and Leslie. The power of
agree with that.
Disney. You should say Disney. It has a ring to it. Are you talking about Yaddle?
No,
Yoda. Okay. I really want Chimere to battle his master in a I don't even know her whole role in this. Like, she's so bad. She's so bad in this show. Like, you don't even know her role. You don't.
If they want to have her in season 2, she needs to be recast. Like, it is.
She needs to be recast. Yes.
Yeah, they would never do that.
So bad.
They will never do that because they're going to give Leslie Headland in their season because there's. No, Leslie Headland. No, just Leslie Headland just needs to be removed from this show. Yeah. Have someone else do it.
She can direct. Can do it, but she needs to direct.
She can direct. She can direct. No, because
that was one of the problems.
She still runs this. No, it's still her story. No. All
With
this
it being
plot,
a streaming show, do we ever get like numbers for how well like the Acolyte?
Yeah, we just saw.
We just saw it here. I'll show it again.
Oh yeah. Because surely that would be dependent on, like, even if people are just fucking hate watching it, surely that means
it's dead. It's dead, Jim.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm just going to cut myself off and not venture down that path. That's pretty bad.
Pretty bad, yeah. It's bad.
I did rewatch Andor recently, though, and comparing that to what I saw of the Acolyte, holy, very different kettle of fish.
It's very good. Some people might say it's boring, but...
I really liked how nuanced it was. Have you ever watched? You must have seen Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. It felt like one of those kinds of shows. Yeah,
I actually prefer Better Call Saul to Breaking Bad.
Likewise, I'm a big fan.
I thought watching Breaking Bad now, I didn't get the appeal. I like Walt and stuff.
Breaking Bad. I'm still trying to watch through it. I get emotional every time I watch it. It's bad.
What? Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I'd like have to take breaks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Breaking Bad. With the part where I'll just say there's a person that I won't say her name, but she has like a drug overdose.
Don't spoil Breaking Bad.
yeah.
I just told you, don't do it.
I'll just say there's someone that
I know the scene that you mean.
and that was really hard to watch.
Apparently, Bryan Cranston cried for 15 minutes on set after shooting that scene because of how emotional it was.
Yeah, and John Delancey was good too. I met John Delancey, and he wasn't really that friendly. He was pretty tired and meh. I don't know. Some people don't need to go to cons all the time. But back to what we were talking about, the Acolytes.
Sadly.
Whatever Brock's smoking, I want some of that. Soul's death in this. Well, Soul's death. Here's the thing with Soul. They flip flopped his character so he could die. They flip flop Osha so he could die. His death was just because it's in the plot. It's in the story. He had to die. And he was the best character in the show, best actor, the only actor that seemed to give a shit. And the actor, by the way, that can't even speak full English. And the only one that seemed to care what he was trying to do. And he's dead. He's dead. Yeah, well, his English is rough in episode 7. I mean, I think that was the first episode they filmed was episode 3.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's really bad when Vernestra Rowe is worse than a actor who can't natively speak English.
Vernestra Rowe. Okay, she's your new favorite character now. I'll remember that. Bring her up all the time.
Sadly, I'm going to have to disappear, guys, but I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, DVD. Always, when we have open camp panels, you're always free to welcome to join.
I really appreciate that. You guys have a good night. Take care.
Have a good night.
What episode 3 puppet?
Episode 3 puppet? Oh, the CGI thing with. That's not a puppet. That was an episode. That was CGI.
Pull up
that witch was CGI.
There are a lot of characters. Tell me
about the Jedi deaths. They probably still fought. It was May, but they just forgot all about her master. If the Jedi fought about 5 seconds, it being Soul makes no sense. Okay. Take care, DVD Review Studios. Remember to subscribe to him. He's a cool dude. Not surprising considering the quality of writing. They just forgot. Well, there's a witness that saw it. May do it. May did it, and now they're blaming it on Saul. It's a plot hole. They literally, like, the whole Jedi Temple would look at the witness testimony, the statements. Yoda would be involved in this. Instead, Yoda's just, effing off in his own room. Okay, Timothy Zahn should have written these people a Disney script. Timothy Zahn should have written these people. I don't know. I like Timothy Zahn. I met him. I agree. I think Better Call Saul was fantastic. Yeah, River, when you're done with Breaking Bad, I think Better Call Saul is the better show of the two. Just so you know. If a season 2 does happen, I'll be surprised since the low reviews since the premiere. Passes Fat Blunt. Vernestra and the Beavis Butthead Jedi Apprentice plot of framing Soul as the main killer is that he almost waited 20 years to kill Trinity, Tolman, Fanny Pack Wookiee, and the Rando Jedi just because of reasons. Okay. Plagueis. All right, I think we caught up on. All right. By the way, remember to. Oh yeah. Oh, in the subscription. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I could edit that. Subscribe to River. 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 Yeah. So tremendous.
So, what do you guys, or what do you? Because there's only one person here, and the chat, I guess. But what do you think of what we're gonna get with Skeleton Crew? Because that's the next show.
Skeleton Crew. From what I heard, it sounds like it's gonna be like that Star Trek show, Star Trek Prodigy, but it's gonna be Star Wars. Prodigy is basically these kids find the ship and they go on adventures like Star Trek adventures, but the Skeleton Crew sounds like it's going to just be the Star Wars equivalent of kids finding a ship or teaming up with this guy, Jude Law, and going on adventures. It could be different, but that's what I hear. That's what kind of I see when I look at the kind of... So, May is actively sabotaging Plagueis. Plagueis would have logically dealt with her by the first episode. Oh, that's the real Plagueis. This Plagueis, he wants to use May.
Again, don't make assumptions. We
can't make assumptions. We can't make assumptions. I agree. Sounds boring as hell. Yeah, it sounds boring as hell. Yeah,
it's the same. It's not made for us. Really, it's made for kids.
It's made for kids. It's made for children. You know, do we talk about do we have open panels about Jedi Adventures, the preschool show?
Well, I think we do. I mean, it was a really amazing show. I think it had great writing, and I think that the storytelling rivals Andor. No, I tried watching like one episode. I couldn't.
It's a kid show because it's for fucking little babies.
They're cashing in on the success of Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Spidey
and His Amazing Friends. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. The show is abysmal. I'm glad that it's over. I wasn't gonna watch it all, and I ended up watching it all. I hate watching it.
Oh yeah. You have me to thank.
Obviously, when we're blame it on River because he's the one that pushed me. This was I think this was a tragedy in that this thing was approved and made. There are some okay things about it, but I still think it is the worst Star Wars show ever. It's the worst Disney Plus show of Star Wars. Even worse than Book of Boba Fett, and even worse than Obi-Wan Kenobi, and even worse than Mando Season 3.
I would say that the production, like the visual production quality was better in Acolyte than it was in Kenobi. Kenobi was like bottom of the barrel, like they had no budget. Yeah,
Kenobi, and then I would rather given this budget to Kenobi, and then
for sure. Well, I would rather have Kenobi should have had a Mandalorian budget. Like I don't get why it
should have.
Yeah.
Well, it was quantity. It was Bob Chapek. He wanted to cut corners. But why would you do that with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the most popular characters of all time?
Why would you do a lot of things that Chapek did? That's why he was fired.
They brought they say the budget for Obi-Wan Kenobi was $90 million. Well, I'm thinking, how much was Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen? Well, Hayden Christensen, he was only in 2 episodes.
They must have eaten up most of the budget. Like they're
this is like so cheap, so badly made. So, this show doesn't have a 180 budget. This show whatever budget they had, they wasted it on dumbass shit.
Yes.
On stupid shit.
And then they had no budget for things that they actually needed, like Yoda being in the the story.
Yoda, and yeah. Obviously, people would say, well, they don't have the budget. I heard this argument from a person we know, but let me read the comments before we. I hope Skeleton Crew has a darker tone. It's gonna have. I don't think it's gonna. If it has kids in it, it's gonna be more lighthearted Star Wars.
No, they've already said it's gonna be like an Amblin film.
The mission, the nightmares, they're finally over. I think it's slightly better than the sequels. I
would say it's better than. I'd say it's better than Cross.
No.
It's better than Cross. Cross was so bad.
I'd rather watch. You know what? I'd rather watch The Last Jedi than Acolyte. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I like The Last Jedi. I like The Force Awakens, so of course I'm. But I'm saying that Tross was worse than the Acolyte. You know, it was worse. It was 100% worse. The writing in that was worse. It was so. The editing was so bad. You know it was worse.
Okay.
All right.
You ever hear the tragedy of the Acolyte? Awesome panels. Thank you, Baz, for joining us. Yep. Of course. Right. Plagueis and the Jedi received Flanderization. Palpy called it during Revenge of the Sith. Blah blah blah. All right, that's interesting. Well, we're gonna call it a day. The next podcast will probably be about. I don't know what it'll be about. I'll probably talk about Plagueis. Speaking of Plagueis, episode 1, I would definitely check. I'm proud to announce that it may come out this week or next. I still need to finish up some things, but Plagueis episode 1 will be coming out. Woohoo! I'm still moving, so if things like I have to change stuff and whatnot, it'll be pushed back. But I'm on track to release it at the end of this month. It's gonna be good. Of course, there'll be people complaining about the animation and whatnot when it comes out. But another thing me and River are working on, and he did the thumbnail for, is a very special episode of Revitalized sometime this week or next, and it'll be in probably 5 parts. But we're giving it time to cook. But I teased the promo of it, so yes, Revitalized is coming back. It won't be like Revitalized where it's like a movie. It'll be maybe like a what if video. It'll be like scenarios and stuff. But it'll be really good. It'll be really good. And yes,
I guess I'll plug my shit too. So what I'm working on and have been working on for a couple of years now is my Battlefront 3 cutscene recreation project, which is going to be on my channel, and also I am a consultant and former developer of Battlefront 3 Legacy, so go check that out, the mod for Battlefront 2. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yes, and as I said, our next podcast will probably be after Plagueis comes out. We'll talk. I'll talk a little bit about. I'm done talking about Acolyte. I'll just let that know. It's kind of run its course. If people want to keep talking about it after it's out, I did say that I don't know when Skeleton Crew's coming out, but I will probably watch it, and we'll probably watch it with River and Sonam, who would have been on here but busy and whatnot. So the podcast will be a reoccurring thing, and open panels will come on. Just don't be Chuck where you say the show's something about demographic revolving African American children. I don't know. That was that guy. I think he was serious about what he felt. I don't know if he was trolling or he was playing a long con or
back at it. It was pretty weird.
I stopped it before it got worse. So okay. Well, thank you all for coming. and may the force be with you. And the power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
many.
The power of many. All right, bye.